Okay, so here we are back on the course information page. Let's explore the materials tab. Some good stuff on here. Prereqs, we'll just go through this down 1, 2, 3. Prereqs, Math 105, there's an enforced Math 95 prerequisite. However, we can do instructor approval depending on individual situations. Math 243 has a Math 105 or Math 111 or instructor approval prereq requirement. Math 244 has a 243 enforced 243 prerequisite. These are the only two courses, I think, besides Math 211 at COCC that have enforced prereqs. If you have ever a question about that, feel free to shoot me a note and I can talk you through why they are the way they are and if that applies to you. Optional free textbook. This has been confusing some folks, I think, when you go to the bookstore to look to buy your textbook. I'll give you a 15 to 20 second manifesto. I think the textbook industry is dying, and I don't think you guys should pay a penny more than you have to for your education. There is plenty of information online, and open source, otherwise known as OS, is becoming more and more prevalent in academia, excuse me. I've got a textbook, quote unquote, called Math and You for Math 105. I'll click on that so you can see it. It's very ad driven. The gentleman that made this, Ron Larson, is a phenomenal dude, and he basically gave you a Math 105 textbook that we are going to pick and choose from. I'll come back to that when we talk about the resource pages. Math 244 and 243 have a thing called collaborative statistics. It's much less interactive, and it's just a 700-page PDF document. Both of these books, quote-unquote books, are free. You can download the Math 243, 244 because it is a PDF. If you want to, you could purchase either one. You can order Ron's book from this site right here. It looks like it costs about $100 bucks. I wouldn't buy it. You can also buy a copy of Collaborative Statistics here, if that link still works. Looks like it does. That's a lovely $18. Honestly, I wouldn't buy it unless you like to have a physical textbook in your hands. I will reference parts of these books from time to time, but the data I collect from my students says that most of them don't use it all that much. If you want it, it's there. The links are here for you to use, and I've also got links in other places. But these are the textbooks, quote unquote textbooks. I don't want you spending any more money in this class than you have to, and we can save you some money there with textbooks. Okay, we'll talk more about that briefly. Technology down here. I made a big change this year. There's a big technology component to these classes. There's not much math in any of these classes, whether it's 105, 243, and 244. Notice I call these things you'll need for stat class because it really is a statistics class. It's not a mathematics class. As such, there's not a whole lot of math. What there is can sometimes be tedious to do. Lots of additions, lots of divisions, raising things to power, square rooting. And these mathematical moves that we have to do to understand the statistics are much easier automated once you understand what's actually going on. Now, for years, I used a Texas Instrument graphing calculator, like a TI-83 or TI-81, 84, whatever they are. I am building something that's about 99% done. If you click on this, I've created an Excel sheet for us to use that will open up a variant of the, let me take a look at it. It's actually open on this. Sorry, it's over here. Let me open this one and see if it looks a little bit better. There we go. It's an Excel spreadsheet that is going to be able to do any computation you need to do in this course. Now, a lot of this stuff is not going to look sensible at all right now to you guys. I mean, these things look ridiculous. This will be, if you will, your Texas Instruments graphing calculator. It'll do everything the TI needs to do, but it'll do it in Excel. And I'll give you my manifesto on the first day of class as to why I think that's great. So, at any rate, just so you know, you don't have to buy any new technology. We have Excel to do a lot of work for us, and I'm giving you the sheets for free. There'll also be other sheets linked in from here to there, but so what I'm getting at you is you're going to have to use Excel in whatever class, 105, 243, or 244. Now, before you pass out, hopefully you didn't just pass out and now you're laying unconscious on your floor, but before you pass out, realize that I know that you guys, some of you have never touched Excel before, and I assume that. I assume you haven't touched Excel, and I assume you're going to need to learn how to use Excel. And I've designed my assessments and I've designed my classes to acknowledge and respect that fact. You'll learn how to use Excel with me. It's a wonderful tool. It's got limitations just like any technological tool, but it's a wonderful tool. And you guys all have access to it as students at COCC on the local machines at any campus, whether it's Redmond, Madras, Bend, wherever. You also, remember that little red section of the schedule page, you can download and use for free Office 2013, which of course my sheets will run on. So I designed this stuff to work technology-wise in Excel. We're going to use the, for the courses, we're going to use Excel for everything. The only thing, I know some of you guys use Macintoshes. I can't promise that the spreadsheets that I write will work 100% on Macintosh. And I don't have the skill set to problem solve and troubleshoot if they don't. So you're kind of on your own if you want to use a Macintosh. These things work great on Windows machines. And they might work great on Macintoshes. I just don't know. I like Macs. They're better than Windows, way better. But we don't have them here. We've got Windows machines. So I write for the mode, not for the Macs. Anyway, we'll talk more about this. That's a stupid stat joke. We'll talk more about that as we go. So these are the materials. And next up, we'll talk about assessment.